He's super
Yeah.
relaxed.
Yeah, he likes the air. Oh, we
You see
also
the glow.
established, I said this super in passing, that Tizkar was able and Rowan were able to like put their money together, and you guys got a tenement that's like right across the way from Dana Danica's place.
Sweet. We have
Huge.
our
So
own space now.
yeah, you have your own house. It's the same floor plan as Danica and Dane, so like a 2 bedroom, small kitchen.
Oh, okay. Can we do something real quick though?
What?
Rewind
Okay.
to when we're packing up to leave.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Do you want to do that
Um,
scene? Okay. Danica's kind of trying not to cry, and it's even though you're just moving like three
so
doors down.
yeah, but this is before we even leave the room. It's just Rowan and I. Tizkar is kind of packing everything up, and as he's walking like to the door, kind of carrying something, he once again trips over the rug, and he, I love it, damn rug, and he turns back to look at it, and the words that Dane uttered to him ring in his head, and he stares at the rug.
What are you thinking, my love?
Do it.
Do it. No. What do you think is under there?
I do not know, but I believe it is time to find out. And I'm gonna check under the rug.
Rowan goes, what's under the rug, Dane?
Okay. So I muted myself. Haha. Suspense. You look under the rug, and what you see is it's quite a large rug. So how far are you like fully flipping it over, or are you just like flipping over a corner?
I mean, he would flip open a corner first, and if he doesn't see anything, he would keep going until he sees something.
Okay, so you flip the corner and you start to see singe and burn marks covering the floor. As you reveal it further, because I'm assuming that would make you curious and want to
Mm-hmm.
flip the entire thing. You see an outline of it's I believe it's two, maybe three. It's hard to tell. But three outlines of humanoid figures that have been um, seems to have singed and burned outlines around the floor of the matter. There's also old dried blood covering the spots surrounding it. It looked like it was pretty damaged.
So like, so I understand. It's like three people were lying on the ground and were burned from above, that kind of thing.
Um, no, there looks to be an epicenter somewhere in the middle of the three, but it definitely like it looks like whatever these outlines were, there's not a lot
Like
left.
they were burned away.
Like they were incinerated by whatever was there.
Rowan is like staring. Are those sacrifices? Is Dane going to
I do not think that is possible for Dane.
Have you
He
seen the
is,
man?
yes, he's all bark, no bite. He he kneels down to kind of like inspect it further. Do I need to roll anything?
Um,
Uh,
I don't think there's any. Is there anything else other than
you know what? Go ahead, roll an investigation. I'll take over
Okay,
for a second. Scarlett, sit back and relax real quick. Grab a drink.
I?
I
okay,
got this.
I will guidance this roll.
Okay.
As as Tiskar kind of like traces like the hand across kind of the remains of the
Okay.
scorched ground, his hands are gonna kind of glow blue as he's gonna get some guidance. That was almost a nat
Okay.
20. 15.
With a 15, I'll give you something. Um, I'm not quite sure how your powers work per se, but from whatever you glean, as you start to touch the singed mark, you feel an after image appear into your brain. It's not a full conscious thought, but you hear screaming, you hear yelping, um, you hear a get behind me. You hear what seems to be signs of a struggle. Then you hear no, not her, me. I take it. And then fire, explosion, brimstone. You smell it. Then you pop. That's the image you get.
He kind of blinks and shakes his head and slowly stands back up. No, not so much a sacrifice as an attack.
Oh. Why wouldn't he want you to see that?
I do not know, but I think it makes less sense now that he asked me to see it.
He asked you to see it.
Not me specifically, but generally.
What?
He is a complicated man. He kind of like waves his claws. He like resituates the
Rowan
rug
is
back over.
So confused. But he's like, right, but well, are you gonna tell him that you looked?
Yes,
Is it going to be
and
angry?
whatever. I would be surprised if he was, considering that he seemed to want someone to look under the rug. But if he is, then
I'm confused. Last I heard, he said don't look under the rug. Now you're saying he says look under the rug, but not really look under the rug.
there was a situation outside when we were gone.
Oh, are you all right? You didn't get hurt, did you?
It was not me who was hurt, it was Dane. He nearly died.
Oh, that's troubling.
I believe he, what is the saying? Had a change of kidney. No, heart, change of heart.
Yes, though change of kidney is actually quite funny.
This language is difficult. He chuckles as he smooths over the rug again.
I know that kidney and heart have the same word in your language. Similar, they're close, but
Kidney schmidney.
all right, shall we say goodbye? And well, we're just moving down the road. It's not that big of a deal, I guess. He looks a little sad.
Yeah.
I just really liked Danica's cooking.
I thought you would be happy to get away from Dane.
He's hardly ever home, so
But when he is,
then I just go.
then he
over
kind of
to
gives him a
my
knowing
stuff.
look. Until you have to come home to sleep. In which case I can literally smell your fear.
Oh, well, it's not that smelly. Well, hopefully we'll get our own bathroom space. I want to take a nice bubble bath. Yes, hopefully the tub is big enough for you too, though. We might have to size up.
I'm sure I can scrounge up the gold to take care of that.
Lovely. Oh, let me change real fast before we go. And he'll walk behind the screen. You hear a little sprinkle sparkle, and he comes back out looking like a purple tiefling.
And Antak, you know I meant it when I said that I don't really think they would care. Especially after Hill.
I just... Well, my whole family... We hide our curse. You're the only one who's actually seen me outside the family.
Tiskar walks up to Rowan and kind of takes like one of his claws and like puts it under his chin and like lifts it up to like look at, so he looks at him and he says, "You know I struggle to call it a curse when you look as beautiful as you do."
You're sweet, darling, but we were cursed. I'm not just saying that because I don't like it. I'm saying it because that's what it is. We were cursed. It's a blood curse. My entire line, generations back.
But would they know that is a curse?
I've never seen anyone in anywhere look anything like me.
Zelatar seems to be a stewing pot. No.
Melting pot,
What is that?
darling.
He points and he nods. It is a melting pot of different kinds of people, of beings.
You really think it's
Who's not to say you would
safe?
blend in?
What if someone wants to kidnap me and experiment on me because of...
Then I would slit their throat. And he smiles.
Are you saying you want me to drop the glamour?
He's just gonna he just kind of like takes him by the hand and says, "I want you to do what you wish to do, whatever that may be." And he turns back away and he starts to gather things.
Okay. He looks like he's lost in thought, like he's contemplating. Oh, I've never come out of the closet before. I have to think. Do I just walk out of the room? Do I say, "Attention, everyone, I have a secret to divulge. I've been lying to you all this time"? No, that's silly. Do I just pretend like nothing's changed? No, they wouldn't know who the fuck I was. That'd be ridiculous.
I believe either way, Danica's not going to be able to see her through her tears.
Oh,
She was crying an awful lot when we came back. I figure she's probably crying still.
poor dear.
I do not know why. She can walk down. We are less than 3 minutes away.
Yes, she's quite a sweet young thing, isn't she? What do you think? Do I just walk out, or do we wait for a... I have to come out to... You have so many new friends. Do I do it individually? Do I do it all at once?
I think the best thing is do not draw attention to it.
How can I not do that? It's literally the most attention-grabbing thing I could possibly do.
I'm just saying, perhaps...
I have an idea. I work tonight, right before tournament starts tonight. Did you know that? The first fights are happening, and beforehand I have a show over at Mother's Love. What if I incorporated it into my performance?
Ah. He smiles and he turns back and he says, "And that is why you are the bard and I am not."
Aha, thank you, my love. And he does a... Let's make sure everyone is there so I don't have to do this more than once. Because if I have to do it more than once, I'm going to lose my nerve and we're never going to do it again.
Of course. Oh, speaking of, has that tabaxi come back?
What tabaxi?
The magical tabaxi.
Are you talking about the Magna Johnny?
Yes, that. Has he come back to the Mother's Love?
You need to stop calling him a tabaxi. That's... He's a Rakshasa. He's a kind of fiend. And yes, he has been here the whole time.
He's been in the Mother's Love the entire time.
Well, most nights, but he's also been watching some of the fights, I imagine. I
And
think...
he hasn't bothered you.
Well, he's sent, tips and drinks and stuff, but I didn't go
At
to
the
his
word
table.
tips, his eyes kind of go,
Do you want me to give it to you?
No, I do not want his tip. That is the last thing that I want.
Love. I have not accepted his invitations to go to his private box. I have very, very politely declined. He didn't take it
I
back.
know that, but I do not know. What if he tries to use all of these large tips as a form of bribery, cohesion?
You think I am going to, what, leave you over some money?
No. What if he's getting frustrated because his language barrier like can't like let him
Bitch, you
say
just
what he's thinking.
suggested that he can be bought.
Yeah, it's like Tizkar's very frustrated because that's not what he meant at all. So he like waves his hand and goes, no,
You
no,
see,
no.
yeah, Rowan's face is horrified.
What I'm trying to say is, what if he tries to blackmail you to do something you do not want to?
Blackmail me? What does he have on me that he could blackmail me with?
All the tips he has given you.
That's not how blackmail works, darling. Blackmail is when they know a secret about you and they threaten to tell it to everyone unless you do what they say.
Yes, but there is a word, a term for when you are given something as a gift and then it has an ulterior motive behind it.
That can't happen. A tip is a tip. He has nothing over my head. The worst he can do is just stop giving me tips. And if you think I am so weak-willed that I would do anything Rakshasa would say just because he's throwing me a platinum every once in a while, do you forget I come from money? I'm not impressed by a few platinum, darling.
I am sorry, that is not what I meant.
Oh, I don't know what she meant, but no, I haven't gone with the Rakshasa. It is fine. He's giving everyone tips there. He's just a patron. He just likes to be entertained. He doesn't have anything special for me.
He really gives everyone his large tips.
Darling, we need to work on your phrasing.
Tizkar kind of turns back and starts packing things up again. And as they finish up, they collect at the door. Do we hear Danica still crying on the other side of the door?
She's not sobbing. She's just got misty eyes and a fake smile.
Oh, okay.
She's like, well, don't forget, you can always come over for lunch.
Dane's like standing next to her, just like this.
Danica, we are less than a 3-minute walk away.
I know. I just know that sometimes life gets busy, and I've just gotten used to you guys being over for dinner. I'll always make enough for the both of you if you ever want to come over.
I mean, perhaps one time it might be wise for us to have you over.
She like grabs Dane's arm and we would love that.
Sure, Dane's excited.
Dane
Dane?
just says, you know, if you don't move out by midnight, you still owe us rent for the next day.
Yes, that is why we're moving out right now at 2:30.
Good.
Oh no, it's 2:30. My lunch break is over. I gotta get back to the clinic.
I'll walk you.
Oh. Thank you.
And then as Dane walks out, he turns around and goes, you didn't look under the rug yet, did you?
Tizkar just kind of like stares at him and says, we will talk later. And that's all he says before he walks out with Rowan.
Dane, as he's walking out, he's like maintaining eye contact with you as the door closes behind him.
God, you're such a creep.
That's it.
All right. Okay. Tonight is the the first night of the tournament. In fact, I posted in Discord the list of fighters that will be fighting. There are 8 fights tonight. There's usually some celebrations happening over at Mother's Love and other places around before the first fights start. But you guys have a little bit of time, so you can tell me what you plan on doing. Where you plan on going? Do you plan on going to watch them or do other business? Fia has basically kicked you all out of her clock tower and is like, oh no, I have to get some work done. Like, Cora, she's very weak. I need to try to make sure that the spell
Cora's strong.
the spell that brought her back out of the prism, there's something off. I need to just tweak a few things. Don't ask questions. Get the fuck out. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Notes. Fia being a sus-ass bitch.
Yes, what the fuck is she up to? So, yeah, what do you think you guys are up to?
Eris is dressed up and fully no suit today. She's out to make money.
Ooh, she does her work.
Eris does, yeah. It's been a while since she's been like fully like, hi, I'm a robot.
Okay. She is naked, essentially.
More or less.
Okay, so you're going to be at Mother's Love, hustling, working. It is busy tonight. There are so many VIP tables set. Ajani has been there, though you know he's probably going to leave an hour before the first fights start. He is entertaining an entourage. You see that at some point a customer walks in and is flagged over by Ajani to join him. This customer, at first glance, you see a very tall woman. She has, you don't know if it's her hair or if it's a wig, but just this giant, like, cotton candy puff of hair on her head with flowers and pearls. She has a very pearly white corset, fancy gloves. She has ebony skin and pointed ears and just this wicked look, like an amused look on her face. And she strides and glides in. And Ajani at his table, and Eris, you see this because it's kind of like there's something about her presence that captures your attention. And Ajani calls over, Colette! Darling, join us, join us. And the girl goes, is that Ajani? Oh, absolutely. And she glides over, and as she moves, you notice instead of human legs, she has, her hips are attached to the body of a giant strawberry-colored lion. This is a lamia, a lion centaur kind of being. Okay. I have a picture, actually. Give me a sec. She has ruffles and hoop skirt and bows and pearls and just looks absolutely lavish.
I love her. I love her.
She strolls in and she brushes up against you and she looks at you. Oh, aren't you delightful?
A little bow.
I
didn't acquaintance.
What's your name, dear?
I'm Eris. What's yours? And I put my hand out.
She takes it. She has like this very lacy glove, but like claws coming out. She gives it like a little, pulls it up and gives it a kiss. I am Colette. They call me the Lady of Denial. Would you come
Does that
join us?
spark anything?
Not, not yet.
Lady of Snow. Of course I will.
She
This is interesting.
She leads you over to Johnny's table. They have to like move furniture out of the way for her to like give a little stretch, and her lion body sits. And if you were looking from any other part of the club, it would just look like a lady sitting down on like a puff of ruffles and pillows. And she sits there and she like fixes her hair, pulls out a mirror, and she's definitely quite interested in keeping up her appearance. As Johnny like clasps his hands and he goes, "Oh, I see you have brought a little friend. Please have a seat, pour drinks. Tell me, what is the famous Lady of Denial doing here? What are your other sisters?" "Oh, they couldn't come. I came with my mistress to see the tournament, of course. And to party, of course." And she grabs some champagne. She takes a whisk and, dear Eris, do you partake, or is that not how this works?
I can if you wish it.
"Ah, please." And she'll pass you a champagne.
I drink some champagne. Very bubbly. Where are you from?
"I am from here in the city. The upper city, of course."
Of course. Someone as magnificent as you could not be from down here.
You are too kind. I do like to visit. This tournament is so exciting. So much.
Have there been tournaments like this before?
This is the biggest one that has been held here. It is an event that is usually reserved for the upper city, where like the wealthy and mostly fiends, like the upper city is mostly where like full-blooded demons and fiends live in excess and plenty, and typical Gratz is the demon lord of debauchery.
Okay. I'm excited to see it. I've never been to a tournament before.
Will you be watching, or will you be, and she looks at your metallic body, participating?
Watching, right? I'm not fighting. I don't think I remember signing up for this.
Oh, sorry, I just wanted to ask. Yes, my mistress, we came here to partake in the festivities. Ajani, who is drinking, is like, "Your mistress, yes. Esther, I believe it is. The chosen of Gratz. It's quite a big deal for her to be here." It really
How
is.
did you meet Esther?
How did I meet Esther? Oh, she has been my mistress for, yeah, 400 years? She transformed me. I used to be a princess. That was such a long time ago. I can barely remember.
When the world was
Oh,
younger.
I was not in this world.
No? Where are you from? And she's cuddling in as this is happening.
Oh, the abyss has many, many layers.
Oh, full demon. Okay, cool.
Oh, I forgot. The mortals around here are so silly. Yes, of course. That's why I live in the upper city.
You're so beautiful.
Thank you, my dear. She like
Or just gently move her hair and floof it a little bit. Make sure she's in the best condition possible.
drinks, drinks, more drinks. The drinks
I
start
pour her
coming.
another glass of champagne. Please tell me about yourself.
Oh, well, I love parties and I love the finer things in life. I love helping people. I think that is my truest passion. Have you ever lost anything, my dear?
Not much to lose.
Everyone has something.
I think that only works if you're mortal.
Oh, I wouldn't say so. I've helped lots of immortals who need my help. Sometimes when you lose something and it hurts you so much, the best thing to do is to distract yourself. Deny it ever happened and continue living. I help people do that. That is why they call me the Lady of Denial. I have other sisters. The Lady
Eris,
of
like,
Anger.
flops over her.
She starts like tracing her claws down your metallic back. She starts sharpening one of her claws on your metal. She's like,
Go ahead, go ahead.
I have other sisters. They all help people who have lost. The Lady of Anger. The Lady of Bargaining. The Lady of Depression. And the Lady of Acceptance. All of us. We serve, and in turn are admired and worshipped.
I can understand the worship and admiration. You are so lovely. But the good thing about being someone like me is that we can just rewrite ourselves a little bit. Wires can always be clipped.
So you already participate in denial. Oh, I knew there was something about you. Kindred soul.
Why would that if I don't have to?
To denial. And she raises the champagne and drinks. No.
Eris is like, yeah, I fully live there.
While you are partying, let's move to Hale. Hale, what are you up to today?
Is it his shift?
Is it your shift? You know what? It'd
Yeah.
probably be easier if it was. If you want it to be. If you had something else in mind, you can. But yeah, so if you would be there, then you would notice Eris partying with... You don't see her lioness body. You just see this very fancy, like Marie Antoinette looking lady laughing and pouring drinks and definitely very enigmatic, drawing people in and being entertained by Ajani.
Hale is probably avoiding trying to be the drink deliverer. He doesn't really want to be a waiter at this point because there's so many people in and around, and he is probably hiding away behind the bar with whoever is the bartender.
Azazel is pouring drinks left and right. He keeps tripping over you, and he's like, "Oh, sorry."
I'm not in your way, am I?
Honestly, it would be a little bit easier if you were actually taking the drinks to the customer instead of them having to come here.
Well, just call one of the girls. It's fine.
The girls are working their other charms. Oh,
Fine. How about fine? Just for you, I'll do it.
he gives you a little smile and a little wink. And then he'll adjust your, like, you're wearing your mask right now, right? He'll be like, oh, and he'll take like a little finger and like It's crooked.
I need to adjust the straps again. That's fine. This is for which table?
Oh, you know what? How about you bring it to your good dear friend Rakshasa, and he brings you a tray that is just filled with bottles and glasses. The best crystal glasses.
Hale's gonna struggle a little bit with this because it's quite heavy. I would not call him my friend, as he's a patron like everyone else.
That's what I meant.
That's what I meant. Okay.
He giggles at your sassiness and watches you go.
Hale is still learning to carry the heavy trays, so he's like very carefully proceeding through the crowd.
As you approach, you see Eris there leaning across the lap of this woman who's telling stories and drinking, and she's definitely the life of the party.
Oh, Eris is looking at her like she is the best thing that's ever existed.
Hale will acknowledge that and just let her work her charms and just bring the drinks in.
Ajani's
Thanks,
eyes will
Ajani.
meet you. Hale, how are you doing?
If I could be relieved of these drinks, better.
He gestures to the table. Some of the bottle girls kind of scoot stuff out of the way. Do you have time to join us for a drink or two?
That depends.
Oh,
What drink are we having?
well, and he starts pulling each bottle, listing off their little traits and quirks and how expensive they are, where they came from, as he pours different glasses and starts passing them around. There is a couple of old world drow wine from Menzo Berenzan.
Hale seems like Ajani would notice that his face is like looking directly at that.
Oh,
I haven't seen this in ages.
oh, a little spider wine. You've seen it. That's rare for someone of your disposition.
Seen it, yes. Partaken, not in a very long time.
Well, let us change that.
But I'm on the clock. I am unfortunately not
Shall
able to,
I?
but I will take it back.
Shall I buy you out?
Eris
I
is
will
like,
not say
yes.
no.
Yes, I would happily buy you out, if only if you wish.
And that I do.
He'll like wave over. Mother will glide over, lean forward, whisper. They do like a little negotiation, and then she'll smile at you and she'll be like, "Well, you are taken care of for the next 3 hours. Have fun."
Of course, Mother. I have the best company.
And she'll go off. She's pretty busy. Harrison Hale signed out.
Yeah. I have a very quick question. Where is Aru?
Aru would have been staying with you in your dorm. Do you think Aru would come with you to Mother's Love to just kind of like hang around, be the little club cat, just looking around, keeping an eye on things, following you, or do you think he'd stay
I
hidden?
think he probably would, just because he's been bored for so long that watching people do things that
Okay.
he's never seen is probably entertaining.
Okay, so Aru definitely being small enough to kind of like hide. You see him around the club, but also like you don't always keep track of where he is. So sometimes he's like sitting on top of a shelf looking down at everything. Sometimes like he's in a bush and you just see his little eyes. Just being a cat.
Okay.
But if you ever were to
I
like call for him, he'd definitely trot up and be like, "What's up?"
I think Hale would have warned Aru not to get actually no, he probably would call Aru because I don't think he's not sure if Ajani would like to meet the cat that he has adopted from. Yeah, he'll call Aru over.
Okay, Aru will slink up a little cautiously and looking around. And who might this be?
This is our new companion.
Well, I haven't seen one of these in a long time. Aru isn't speaking, is like looking really apprehensive like a cat who's like,
Well, this is Aru, and
Johnny does
seems to be a
this.
stray that I've picked up.
A stray. Ah, such a potent little being. Boop, and then kind of like whisks away.
Hale will lean in close to Ajani to speak. Well, I do have something to trade for that perfume that I asked for.
Really? Tell me.
What do you think of old world flowers? Seeds.
Old world? Do you mean mortal world?
From before the invasion.
Liberation, I prefer, but really, that is quite rare.
Liberation, then. Exactly. Which I think brings up their value immensely.
Do you have them on you?
Hale has one of the packets of seeds, and also the Book of Flowers on him.
He'll take them and look, kind of thumb through the book of dried flowers that are pressed. So quaint. Mortals lived such simple lives, don't they? You did good. I like this. And he reaches into his sleeve and pulls out the vial. It's about this big. And he slowly hands it over. It's a pleasure doing business with you.
A deal well struck, then. And Hale will take the vial.
Oh,
Go
go ahead. I think you need to turn your volume up a little bit more too.
I cannot turn my volume up anymore. If I turn
Okay.
it,
Then-
it'll start
then
it'll start crackling.
Put your chin on your microphone if you're gonna talk quiet.
Okay.
Thank you.
Tell me, who have you decided to bet on for the tournament?
Oh. Well, there are a few that have caught my eye. For today's fights, I'm very curious about. Hold on, I'm looking at my list of fighters. Matilda Burnside from the Templars of the Sun. She hails from outside the city, actually. She comes from the so-called City of God. I'm very curious to see how she'll do.
Where is that?
North.
City of God.
North of here. Not too far. Just follow the coast. Oh, you're from... That's right. You know of the world before the liberation. Let me see if I can remember what the mortals called it before. Waterdeep. Yes, that's what it was once called.
I'm surprised another city has managed to remain intact.
Ah, it's a fascist place. Rules, regulations, very authoritarian. But they do make for great warriors. Surprises me to see a little troop of them coming to visit. They must be here to strike a deal with some trade prince or another. But to see them participate in this tournament is very, very curious to me.
Are any of them present?
Ah, they do not spend their time in brothels. They are way too pious for that. But I do hope to see them in their fight. In fact, this Matilda fights second tonight, I believe. He pulls out like a little brochure and then he hands it to you. Hold on, let me fix something really fast. My notes are all out of sorts. Yeah, you see a little pamphlet that has all of the fights. They are actually in the Discord, in the public Discord. There is a channel that says Fangbreaker Tournament, and it shows everything.
Ah, okay.
If you're looking for someone to bet on, might I suggest... and then he starts like pointing to different fighters. You notice that there are some fighters of the Blood Clans, which are clans that live out in the Blood Plains. You see some Children of Dagon. You see lots of Fangbreakers, obviously. You know, they're in their home turf.
There are many children of Dagon fighting, it seems.
Yes, there is a good handful of them. And then he flips through. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6, actually. Though there was a 7th. Their fight got cancelled, though. How odd.
How odd indeed. It'd be a shame if they sank into the bay.
That would be quite a surprise. Why, do you know something?
The look that you get from Eris over his shoulder.
Oh, I know nothing. I just said it was a shame. It would be a shame, rather. Hale will elbow Eris.
As this conversation is happening, Tizkar, you know that Rowan is going to be doing a big ol' reveal at Mother's Love. Would you be going to go watch that?
Oh yeah, but first he's gonna go shopping for the biggest fucking bouquet of flowers he can find for his fumble earlier.
Oh no. Okay.
But after he gets the flowers, he would go into Mother's Love.
Okay, you come in with flowers, a little bow tie. Just kidding. Bow tie and suspenders.
That's some fan art that would be funny to see.
You, as you walk in, you do see Eris and Hale are hanging around Ajani's table again. Will you take your own seat or will you join them?
He goes to the opposite side of the bar, or where the
Tizkar!
Tizkar is on like in the process of walking towards like the seat of the bar where that's closest to the stage, and he kind of like turns and like side eyes Eris. He side eyes Eris, side eyes Hale, side eyes Ajani, side eyes Eris, and he holds up the flowers and points towards the stage, and then goes and sits near the stage.
Rowan is sitting there playing and he sees you and he goes,
He's
and then he does this. And he's like, Dane, I need to get you here. You had during the week agreed to meet up with your partner that John the Fogbroker was going to arrange you with. That you were going to
Oh,
meet up.
yeah.
He said he wanted to meet you at Mother's Love before hitting up the tournament because that's where they were going to be keeping an eye on people who were taking out really big bets in case they lost and then tried to skip town.
I am standing outside of the Mother's Love 30 minutes early. And just for the flavor of it, I have somebody who is needing who failed to meet their debts in my hand.
Oh. Like you got him by the wrist?
Like by the back of the neck and
Oh.
cuffed and everything.
He was like gonna try to run for it too. And he's like, come on, man. Come on. Look, I can get the money.
You had your chance.
Well, it's not fair, man. You said those interest rates. Come on, I'll just look. Let me bet. I have an in. I know one of those fighters is going to be doing really well. Is going to get really far. I'm going to be able to clear all my debts. Just let
Dane
me.
is just letting him like ramble on and just remaining silent.
You'll hear footsteps approach from behind. And behind you is a tall, kind of terracotta colored devil with blonde hair and a white suit. His hair is like nice, perfectly curled back. And he has a very friendly face.
Remind me his name again.
You-
The name of the partner.
Don't know his name yet. He
Don't know the name.
has
Okay,
never. But hold on, I have to find
Good,
it.
because if I did know the name, I don't remember.
You were just told that a partner would be reaching out to you. Hold on, let me find the name. Oh, I got it. Okay. You hear a very silky smooth voice. Mr. Hexblood, you're early. And then he gives you a little bow. I will be your partner. John told me to find you. I am Mr. Weathervane. It's a pleasure.
Mr. Weathervane.
Indeed. I see we have a little friend. Who's this?
Never asked. Just collect.
I like it. You work so hard. Now, shall we have a quick drink before we get to work? I like to loosen up before the festivities begin.
Yes, but let's hurry. This needs to be dropped off before we go.
Oh, I think the jailers have their own little cart in the parking lot.
Indeed they do.
And Dane will follow him in with this guy, grab his drink in the other hand, and then walk out to the jailers. And just
It's like a giant prison cart made out of like metal and the bars and these like hooded figures holding like giant spears and you can't see their face are just like
yeah, he just throws the guy over to him. Just goes,
they like catch the contract and then like look at it, seal it, and the guy starts blubbering and crying and they just like throw him into the giant cart and close the door. And it's like it's clearly got a silence spell cast over it because as soon as he is thrown into the darkness, his screams just silent right away.
Finally.
Dane walks away.
They toss you a little coin bag with your cut.
Ooh, Dane catches it without even looking. Yeah, he continues on to the fights with his new partner.
I'm putting you in the mother's love.
Oh, in the mother's love, not to the fights, of course. In the mother's love.
You're gonna have a drink first, and then you're gonna go.
Yeah. He goes back for a drink again.
Yeah, I need you all in the same spot.
Yeah. That was the plan the whole time, I promise.
Was. Okay, before we continue, let's take a quick 10-minute break. All right. BRB, guys, I need a drink. And then we'll answer the questions from the chat as well. All right. I am back, but the others are still AFK. How is my neck? It still hurts, but it's a little bit better. The ibuprofen has kicked in for sure. Let's see. Let's go to the Buta questions.
The Buta question.
The Buta questions. Uh-oh, why is everybody out of order? I'll fix it when everyone's back. How you doing, Retsu?
I am kind of tired.
Oh, I'm sorry. Maiken, thanks for
No,
the
no, no.
5 subs.
It's not. I ended up being a ballet partner for my friend for her birthday thing, which is every year she's a avid rock climber, so every year she does as many routes as is her age.
Oh
which means
God.
that- so she ended up climbing for like 3.5 hours.
And you were there belaying her. Wow.
My hands are a little bit raw, but
Belay myself off. Ugh. Well, that's cool. Let's see. I'm going through these questions. I want to wait till everyone's here though before we do them. I'm like, it's been a week since we've played, and then last week was kind of a filler episode, so it was a little tricky to get my brain back into Buta mode. I'm trying to like consolidate some storylines here.
Yes, that makes sense.
Getting you guys to go to the same spot, I'm starting to think I need to just tell you that you're somewhere instead of asking
That
you.
would make the most sense.
Yeah, I try to keep like let you guys have a lot of agency, but also I kind of need to get you guys in the same room. What is FET? Why do I know belay? Because there's this funny movie that I've talked about on this channel before. I think it's called Bushwhacked, and the kids, there's just a line, and the actor dude is like, belay myself off, and it's just been an inside joke in my family since I was like 10. FET is it FET? It's French for party? Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never heard that word before. I've never seen it.
I was
Or
asking
is
whether or
it?
not it was with the circumflex or not, and
Look,
I didn't get an answer.
I don't know every word, and I'm always happy when I learn a new word. So thank you, Gabriel,
Yeah.
for teaching me a new word.
Is it?
Or is it?
Oh, man. Sorry for bullying your character, Buff.
No, that's okay. I forgot what we were trying to do.
What it is so we have all these like interactions between players
No, we
and
gotta
NPCs.
find a way to.
I want you guys together so you can jump in and be involved, you know? Because
Yeah, we gotta
I
find
don't
a
want to
way.
lose you when I have a long scene with one player that you're not in. You know what I mean? Yeah.
No, I
So if
understand.
I ever do that, I'm just trying to get you all together. Not saying you're not allowed to go off and do something. Like if you were like, no, I really actually have a thing I want to do. But yeah.
The only thing I really want to, and it doesn't even have to be this session, is confront the landlord on why the rent prices are so high.
Awesome. I have all kinds of writings for that.
But I can also like grab honestly Tizgar I think would be a good a good tag along for that. Be like,
Yeah.
I need your help with something, and then it just turns out to be we're like kidnapping the landlord and forcing him to tell us what's going on.
Stop extorting us.
Yeah, I definitely think you guys taking the initiative to tag along with each other, even just like inventing a reason, would make it so that you guys can be in more scenes together.
Oh, 100%.
Right.
Yeah. I like making up reasons. And if we don't have a reason, just make a really crazy
Make it
one.
up.
Yeah. Or maybe
Yep.
just like,
Make it up.
I'm hanging out with you. I feel like in game there's been enough time that's passed that it's now implied that y'all are a bit of a little crew. You guys are privy to like information and knowledge that only you guys really were there to witness. So, you know, that can be a bond.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Know whose
Yeah, yeah.
personality I imagine for Mr. Weathervane, by the way, if you want like not the way he looks, but the way he sounds and talks and smiles. So I guess the way he looks. Do you guys watch Severance?
I've heard of it. I've seen the TikToks.
Okay, Mr. Mr. Milkshake.
Who's that? Is that the
He's their floor manager who's always like Hallie.
That was the guy who was in Parks and Recs, right?
No, that's the main character, Mark S. It's Mark S's
Okay.
boss.
Okay.
Okay, if you haven't seen Severance, it's not going to make any sense. For those in the chat who have seen Severance, it's Mr. Milkchick is what Mr. Weathervane acts like. He just has like he's like corporate speak. He's always got like this smile and always
Oh, okay.
you know, like when the workers earn a, you know how sometimes there's like incentives at jobs, but they're like really stupid. He'll be like, "You've all worked so hard and have earned a 5-minute dance activity. Please pick your dance activity."
Yes.
Okay, let me get you guys back in the right.
Oh, did I break it?
Yeah, if you turn your camera off, it changes
I'm
the order.
sorry.
It's okay. I just need to fix it real quick.
I will get a little like napkin or something for it next time.
Perfect. Okay, we're gonna.
My napkin
put it
fell off, and you guys
here.
could see my full face, but don't worry because the BRB screen was on.
Yeah, I turned that one on.
No one must know what my true face looks like. I've revealed it 5 times already. No one must know.
All right, let's go through the questions really fast. What happened to Aru the Not Cat? Aru's been hanging out with Hale. Is Salith WWF champion by now? Salith, I am still waiting for Elephane to touch base with me, which is why I've just been not mentioning her character because I don't want to accidentally do something.
They're
So-
around.
Yeah,
They're
so
just,
she's doing stuff. Does
Her and Meg,
Gaius
you're having fun.
does Gaius not travel with an entourage? I'm guessing that means like when he went to go visit dinner. Sometimes he travels with an entourage and sometimes he doesn't. He's a very confident guy and doesn't feel very threatened all the time because you're all basically on his turf. And his gang respects him. He doesn't, and he took care of the biggest threat, and that was Fia. So he's just kind of.
Well, JK.
Where did street urchin Dane get a magical mask? I don't think Dane has a magical mask.
Oh, they're talking about it being porous and he can eat and drink through it.
Oh,
that's
he. Yeah.
That's not magic. That's pure force of will.
Has Scarlett come to the term with the words gynoid? No, because it sounds like gynecologist and foid stuck together. And foid is a derogative term that incels refer to women with in their little forums. So that word just sounds icky. I know it's not an offensive word, gynoid, but it just sounds icky to my ears. It tastes bad. That word tastes bad. I can taste some words, guys. Not all words, but some words.
No, that word does taste bad. You are correct.
Yeah, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also, just the whole like gynecologist trauma makes it hard. Sigmund Foyd. Sigmund Foyd. Oh yeah. Okay. Who put Korra in the two stones? How did they get hidden so well? Why do they compel people to unite them obsessively? Those are questions you should try and dig out of Fia/Korra/Aru, who might be my way to give magical exposition through because he's a magical Sphinx cat. Fia wanted the stones to protect her family from her family. She called Korra a weapon. How is Fia planning on throwing Korra at her enemies? We'll see. She's up to something. Korra is her thrall by now, isn't she? Whoop. Fia said she hasn't turned people against their will, but Scarlett also said she tends to lie. Whoop. Those are good questions. I wonder what the answers are. Why did Mother want it? The stones. Did she know there's a Kenku in it? Mother, no one knew about the Kenku in it, actually. They just knew that there was a powerful artifact, and beings like Mother and Fia enjoy magical, powerful artifacts. Anything that can give them an edge in a world such as Zelatar. If Scarlett's gynecologist traumatized her, they're doing it wrong. It's not that. I just have cancer, so it's gonna be fucking traumatizing. Okay. Dane wanted the stones to save his on-again, off-again girlfriend. Maybe he can learn to throw Korra at his enemies from Thea. Korra is now a Pokemon. Tizkar wanted the stones to save the souls of his people, possibly everybody. Does Korra have macabre powers? The legend says she danced with death. Hale wants an artifact to give to the devil. Hale tricked Rin out of half their loot. Is he planning on trading the seeds for sweat? So I guess that was just answered. But okay, so everyone wanting the stones have, like, okay, so you know how like the One Ring of Power in the Lord of the Rings has that alluring draw to anyone who has it, and that they're like urged, almost pulled to bring it like back to Sauron. It's kind of like that. It's just the urge to be whole again, and it has manipulative control power. It's a very dark artifact. The Abyssal Prism itself, you can actually get more information. Aru knows what's up. Does Scarlet really want someone to ask Meg what she did when she came of age? Meg has some side story. She has a companion quest. Have you ever played a video game where you have lots of characters and you can do their little companion quests? I've come up with companion quests for many of your NPCs. So whether you choose to explore that is always up to you. I'm not going to force you to do it. Is Eris Gratz's chosen? That would be really fiendish. That would be fiendish, but no. Eris is not Gratz's chosen.
That we know of.
That we know of. So
Yet.
far, you did get a name drop for the Gratz. So Gratz's chosen has been teased since episode 1, and the name was just dropped, Esther.
Esther.
So is it a singular person, or is there like multiple chosen?
Chosen is a position.
Yeah.
There are several. They're like,
Okay, that's what I
they
thought.
are like the clergy of Gratz.
Yeah.
It's a tier.
Huh?
It's a tier.
Yeah. They are
Good system.
his elevated, his special clergy, his hand-picked, go forth and do my will. You speak for me.
Yeah.
So if I had a
Daniel.
nickel for every time Jess played a character who might be chosen to Gratz, I'd have 10 cents. That's pretty crazy. I know. Let's see. Did the party remember to gather the eyes on the list that Danica gave them for Grimm's eyes? I'll say that yes.
Nice.
I think that was Rinzeg's job.
Collected eyes. Yeah, we did.
Yeah, I collected eyes and made a little eye drops for Grimm to help his eyes. Okay. Where did all of the dead of the city go? When is the next March of the Dead? I'd say that March of the Dead happens like every 6 months. And what people do who participate. So when people die in Zelatar, they know that every 6 months, when the stars are aligned a certain way, dead who are whole enough to get up and go all sit up and just start marching north. They will attack you if you try to stop them, but they just start going. So what people will do, like funeral rites, they either cremate the bodies so that they don't go anywhere, or they actually prepare the bodies, hold them in special places, and then see them off, where they'll like gather in the streets, make a little pathway, and just watch their loved ones who had died make the trek north. And some people think they're walking to an afterlife. No one really knows where they go. They've been
That's
unable.
horrifying.
Yeah, it's called the
That's
March of the Dead.
absolutely fucking horrifying. Hale, do you feel that call?
No, that was something that we, I think, mentioned before.
Yeah, it was like really a big weird thing.
Yeah.
Bruh.
Okay. Why the name Colette? Can I be super honest?
Because you wanted it?
Because her design is very Marie Antoinette, French Revolution, and Colette is a Frenchy sounding name. So that's why I picked that name. Actually, I have written names there are 5 Lamias. They're called the Lamias of Loss, and or the Ladies of Loss, and each one represents one of the stages of grief and loss. And
That's such a cool concept.
thank you. It's definitely inspired a little art project of mine. So Colette is the Lady of Denial, and I thought like, oh, I'll make her look like rococo slash coquette, because like all the nobles of right before the French Revolution who were like partying and living in excess and lavishly were in denial of the loss of their kingdom, and then they got their heads cut off. So that was just kind of like an art project I was doing, and I wanted to bring them into the game. I had already decided, like, because Lamias serve Gratz. They are like one of Gratz's creations, or many of them are, not all of them. And so I had already planned on making this little like girl band, a little girl group. And so that's Colette. And I actually love her design. I'll post her art in the Discord later. But let's get back into the game, everybody. Are you all ready? Okay. So we have Hale and Eris signed out with Johnny and Colette partying. Tiskar is sitting kind of by himself at one of those little like table for ones pushed up against like a wall with his flowers, and Dane at the bar next to this Mr. Weathervane, who is just idly chatting about this and that. He seems like really nonchalant despite the kind of dark nature of your guys' work. He's kind of just chit-chatting like a guy at like just a regular day at the office. Unbothered. When the music, kind of like whatever song Rowan was playing, comes to an end, there's some claps to those who are actually like listening to each of the pieces. And Rowan will stand up and he clears his throat. Thank you, everyone. I have a special performance for you all. Please enjoy the show. And he'll sit down and he'll start strumming and singing. He usually doesn't sing too much when he does this because he's trying to mostly provide like background ambiance, but this time he's kind of taking more of a center stage. He sings a very beautiful aria. It's kind of sad sounding, like very romantic. And as he strums and he starts to play, he reaches, the music starts off kind of soft and gentle, but then grows and swells in emotion. And as it reaches a climax, he does a single strum and then pauses. And then he takes a deep breath. Tiskar, you can tell he's very nervous. And then, almost like twinkling sand, starts to shimmer around his whole body. And his tiefling form slowly melts away. And the first thing you notice is this large red tail, poofy tail, swish. And as it swishes in front, wearing the same clothes, but instead of a tiefling's face, the face of a fox with black ears, a little black nose, red and white fur, bright golden eyes. And Rowan looks a little bit bashful, but then he like looks up back at the audience who are like, oh, magic trick. And when he realizes that no one seems disturbed or startled, he kind of smiles and looks over at Tiskar like, I did it. And then plays his notes and continues his piece.
Aww.
Tiskar,
I was going to say, what is Tiskar doing?
he just smiles. Like a large, genuine smile is just on his face as he watches, and he waits patiently. He doesn't want to disturb the performance. But as kind of the performance finishes, he stands up and kind of like walks to the edge of the stage and takes the flowers and just like boom, tosses them at his feet.
He looks down and he like blushes. You can see he's kind of like trying not to cry. He's a little overwhelmed with emotion. And then he gives you like a little thumbs up, says his thank yous, and then sits back down to continue playing. You can tell he's still a little nervous, but he's like letting go and feeling more comfortable.
As Tiskar walks back to the table, I cast a message on Rowan, and I just say, "It is as I said. See."
Feels good, darling. They don't even seem phased, actually. You were right. I should have listened to you.
I am just glad that you are happy.
I am. What about you, love? Are you happy?
I'm trying to figure out how to word this in my head. It is impossible to be unhappy when I spend my time with you.
You see him blush a little bit. Well, let me get through the rest of this performance and I'll meet you. There's this broom closet that's around behind the bar.
Tiskar just like stops mid-walking, eyes wide, and he slowly turns around to look at Rowan on the stage.
He smiles, he looks at you, and then he looks over where he was mentioning, and then he looks back at you, and then licks his little teeth.
Tiskar looks at him, smiles, turns around, just goes in that direction. He just brushes like right past Eris and Ajani and all of them, just gone.
Wait, not yet. I've got 20 more minutes on my set.
I will wait for you.
Just stand in the
Sends
room
back and he's
20 minutes.
gone.
You're in the broom closet. At some point, Azazel goes in there to grab something. He looks at you and he's like, never mind.
Occupied.
Does Eris, Hale, or Dane have anything to say, react to, or do we continue the night before you head down to the tournament?
When Rowan changes, you just hear from Eris, there's like the little claps, excited, and just, oh, you're so cute!
He'll blush a little bit.
Dane is just standing in the back with his arms crossed, just watching the performance. He doesn't really have anything to do.
I always knew he was a fox, but not like this.
Ajani chuckles. Ajani doesn't look surprised. In fact, he barely even reacted during the transformation.
Did you know this?
Did I know what? That he was disguising himself with illusion magic? It wasn't obvious?
Well, I do my best not to pry into other people's faces.
I forget you do not have eyes of true sight. Yes, of course I knew. Wasn't he beautiful? Why do you think I give him so many tips?
Calm down.
Honestly, I thought you
Calm
really
down.
liked him.
It wasn't a simple tiefling that caught my eye, but an exotic specimen. A unique one of a kind of beauty.
So you prefer him over me, then?
Oh, did I say something wrong, my darling? Have
No,
another
of course
drink.
not. You have your choice.
Why do I have to choose? I've never had to choose before. Besides, I think he
Eris
is
is just drinking.
spoken for. His partner is quite protective. I respect
And
that.
we're watching him walk across the room towards the room.
Yeah, I see him marching. Ah.
We just watch him go in there, close the door, and then not come out, and we're like,
Yeah. He closes the door and he's just grinning ear to ear. I like to think Tizkar went into the wrong broom closet. So later on, eventually, you're just gonna see him like leave that broom closet awkwardly, close it, and walk off to another one.
That lizard is on a mission. Good for him. And now, with that, my dear lady, guests, I believe I have you for a few more hours. If you'd like to join me in my private box for the tournament, I have to see that my bets go through.
I was gonna.
Eris is excited.
look at-
Just little claps.
Yeah,
She
Eris.
helps up Colette.
Colette lets you stand her up. Her lion body is like the size of a liger, which is like the biggest of cats. Bigger
Massive.
than a tiger. Yeah, massive. Which is kind of like, it's a little jarring because her body, like her humanoid part, is like the size of a regular kind of human-sized body. So it's just this massive cat with this like lithe little figure on top.
So beautiful.
I flew for dress.
Her like, it's like a hoop skirt. It's like got the little piles and piles of ruffles, and you floof it up, and then
We
this
love it.
hoop
We
skirt-
arrange everything perfectly.
the bows. She's so many pearls. So many pearls. You all find yourself back in the pillar eventually. Dane, you and Mr. Weathervane head in after your drink. Hale and Eris, you go with Ajani. Tizkar, after you and Rowan play
We're a little late. It's okay.
you
okay.
play 7 Minutes in Paradise. And when you come out, yeah, you notice that everyone else has gone to the pillar, so you and Rowan figure you can go and watch. And you all head in. I guess I can move us to the pit.
I suppose we could go to the pillar, or there's no one here for round 2.
Oh, that's right. I forget. You have 2 of them. Sure, round 2.
I'm sorry, what?
Conveniently forgets that he has to.
I wasn't looking. I was turned around. Ahem.
Okay, so yeah, they're late. It's okay.
They're late. You all rush in. As you approach Dane, Mr. Weathervane starts filling you in at a couple of people to keep your eye on. Specifically, there is, he said he's going to go off, take care of business, but he's filling you in. He wants you to keep an eye on a denizen of the neighborhood named Mr. Aaron Blackwater. He's a middle-aged man. His debt has been racking up, and his due date is pretty much after today. But he knows that he's going to be making some bets tonight. He's going to really try and clear that debt. If he can, if his person, if his little gladiator makes it through, he will be able to pay it off. Otherwise, if he loses, he's screwed. If he doesn't win, he's screwed. So he identifies for you. You've known the guy. Oh, let's wait for Dane to come back.
Oh, sorry.
Well, I don't know what's happening, but
I don't know what's happening either. I have weird things going on. Here we are. Sorry, guys.
you're
I'm
good.
back.
Okay, Mr. Aaron Blackwater. You actually have seen this guy. He lives in Rosewood.
Okay.
He's a quiet dude, a little skittish, scared of you a bit. And you do see him
That's about
cautiously approaching some of the ones who are passing out the bets, or the, I don't know what you call that person, the bet person who gives you the paper, like,
Mhm.
and he like takes his little ticket and
So Watervane's not here anymore, right?
he,
Watervane's
yeah,
gone away.
Weather Vane will give you the shindig, and then he'll be like, I'll be on these 3 levels, keeping an eye on things. I have a couple of clients I need to talk to. If you need help, come find me. I'll be keeping an eye. Just make sure that if this guy loses, he doesn't run.
I won't need help,
Oh my god.
but help is always appreciated.
Good man. Good luck.
Fair fortunes to you too.
He
You just
disappears.
hear out of nowhere, Dane, stop being embarrassing. As I walk by with the group.
Iris's arm linked with Colette, who just.
Dane will like you actually see Dane like pause and like stiffen up for a second after you say that, and then he just goes,
Yes, that's fair.
and walks towards Aaron Blackwater. He makes himself known, and Dane just stands behind him.
Mr. Hexblood, what can I do for you?
Nothing yet.
Look, I'll have it. I'll have it by tonight.
Let us hope so.
You don't have to stand over me. You'll ruin my luck. And he holds, and he's looking at his little paper. He's bet on a fang breaker named Miro, or Miro the Phantom.
Is it like an underdog? Do I know the odds?
Actually, I need to decide. No, I think he's like a pretty 50-50.
So this is like a toss up for him.
Only because I think it's easier to flip a coin to see who wins each of the fucking brackets.
No, I'm asking if he's normally like betting on the long shots, or is he like betting safely?
No, he's not betting safely. Yeah, it's definitely
Okay.
It's all he has left.
Yeah. Dane listens to what he says and just goes,
I guess we'll see.
It's gonna work. Just get off my back.
and I just like take a step back and go,
You're my only client tonight. I'm watching you.
He suddenly looks down at his little ticket, and then he looks up. Look, when my dad died and saddled me with his debt, it was doomed from the beginning. It was meant to be. If I win, then I'm out. Otherwise, I was going anyway. So, if you'll excuse me, Mr. Hexblood, and he'll put his chin up and walk strut past you to go get a good spot to look over the ledge and watch the fights.
as he struts
How do you
past,
feel about that, Dane?
as he struts past, Dane just goes,
Listen. If this doesn't work out, do us both a favor. Find me afterwards. Turn yourself in. It'll be worse for you if you try to run. I won't be able to prevent what happens if you do.
He's gonna whirl around, almost insulted that you would suggest he would run. You don't think I don't know that? You don't think I don't know that this debt will go to my son if I run? I'll find you, Hexblood. he'll turn and he'll go to his spot.
Dane just leans onto a pillar and just starts watching the fights.
The room is dark, it's loud, there's drums being played in the background, everyone's getting really excited. When suddenly the drums stop. And Gaius, in his box, pulls out his magic mouth, his fantasy megaphone.
Yeah, he does. His magic mouth. Go, dude.
It's like
the main
stone
event.
of
Let's go.
thaumaturgy.
Let's get ready to rumble. You know, he starts doing the talky thing that the host of a fight does. And it's super charismatic. I'm not gonna try because it's gonna be bad.
God.
He amps up the crowd, he gets them all excited, and then he announces the first fight. Ladies and gents, you came here for blood, and by grats, you're gonna get it. And then the light shines in one corner. In this corner, representing your Fang Breakers, whispers in the shadow, a sting in the night, the tiny terror with the deadly touch. Give it up for Miro the Phantom! And everyone's like, woo! And the thing shows this little gnome who's like all hooded, and he's got these like two guitars in both hands, like claws dripping with something poisonous probably. And in the opposing corner, hailing from the depths of the drowned cities, a creature of the brine, a wall of muscle and crust from the children of Dagon, the barnacle-clad brawler, Barnacle! He likes fucking uncreative as fuck. Everyone, some charge, some cheer. And the fights begin. I guess I can roll a dice, or who wants to roll to see who wins?
What do you want me to roll?
Just roll a d20. High is Miro and low is Barnacle.
All right, let's do this. 15. Hi.
Miro, okay, so this fight goes on. It's like 20 minutes, 3 rounds. Barnacle is this, is a sea elf, but like a big brawly kind of sea elf. And he's got like covered in barnacles. That's why they call him Barnacle. And he's going in with his jabs. Miro is slippery. He's slick. And he ends up getting a couple of good stabs in early, and you can see that by the end of the fight, Barnacle's slowing down, and the poison gets to him, and by the end, he falls, and Miro the Phantom wins. Let me write that down. Dane, you see Aaron go as he sighs in relief, as that was the fighter that he is betting everything on.
Dane
Go ahead.
Dane doesn't do or say anything. He just he sees Aaron kind of like walk past him, and then Dane just he nods and he walks back up to the upper 2 floors, just in case Weathervane needs an additional assistance.
Okay.
His intel.
You know that because Miro won his fight, the first 8 fights are today, the next 8 fights are tomorrow, and then all of the winners from those 2 days will fight on the 3rd day. So he's good. He's safe for now. As this fight ends, Barnacle is on his knees, kind of like breathing heavily, and suddenly someone steps onto the ring, a tall figure clad in all black. You can hear a twinkling of bells with every step as their regalia is covered in them. They wear a very tall black kind of headgear. Their voice rings over the crowd. Bravo! Bravo! Praise Gratz! You have fought well. And those who fall will become an offering. And she turns, and you see a familiar face. I, Esther, of the choir of hallowed suffering, sanctify and bless this gladiator for his lord Gratz. And she kneels before Barnacle, who's trying to like get himself up, and she cradles his face and then takes one of her long nails and she carves a little symbol into his forehead. He winces in pain, but she keeps his face still. And then she stands up. Let the fights continue. Praise be to Gratz. And then she walks off the stage. All of you who look and see her recognize her face immediately. She was the face that was recorded in the repository, the person who deposited the abyssal prison, the Gloaming Stone and the Morning Stone.
I'll look over to Hale.
Hale is looking at you.
I will
Sorry, what did you say?
repost her image to remind you as soon as it loads. Why is it taking so long?
Dane in this moment is actually looking up at Gaius to see his reaction to this person marking Barnacle. Knowing that Gaius is very much for fair fights and wondering if Gaius is feeling a certain type of way about how this type of, like, the loser it has additional consequences.
You see that before she leaves, this woman looks up towards Gaius, and Gaius is about to like react, but as soon as her eyes meet his, he kind of freezes, and his face remains oddly still, unreactive. And to you, Dane, that seems a bit out of character. She turns to leave, and you notice she also has this massive pair of wings that at first looked like it was part of her regalia, but
Wings,
she
yes.
has big wings, and she has snaking out from behind her 3 long scorpion tails. She is a Lilitu. Or a Lilitu? Lilitu? A kind of demon.
Mistress is beautiful, Colette.
Oh, yes. She is so magnificent. She serves our master Gratz with such fervor.
Not as beautiful as you, though. Shh.
Her face kind of shades for a second. Be careful when you say such things, right?
Of course.
Dane's looking also Is Sarah there?
Sarah is in the box with Ajani.
And then how far away is this box from like where Weathervane is?
Weathervane would maybe be like 2 or 3 levels up. The boxes are where
Okay.
the rich people who don't need to worry about the brokers are.
Right. Okay. Dane will maintain where he's at then.
Okay.
Question.
Mm-hmm.
When her face shades for that moment, is that fear?
Yeah.
Because she could get in trouble for that.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Just seeing where we're at.
What does the mark on the forehead look like?
It looks like. Hold on. Google a thing real fast. Google a thing. Google a thing. It looks like an infinity symbol with an arrow pointing down.
Hold, I'm googling.
Airbending rules. Got it.
Hold on. I'll drag the picture into so that you guys can see it in my stream. Looks like that.
So you are just forever bound to this.
E. Ugh.
Okay.
Ah.
Okay.
I would say Dane and Eris recognize this symbol. This is the symbol of Gratz.
Okay. So that soul is now Gratz's.
He has been marked as an
It was
offering.
Dagon's. It
What?
was Dagon's, though.
You're not really sure
If
what
that's a
she means
child
by
of
this.
Dagon,
A child of Dagon meaning a tiefling. Doesn't
Mhm.
necessarily mean.
Which would you not?
Well, is Dane's soul owned by Gratz?
I would assume so.
No.
No.
No, it is just the whole tiefling thing is more of a mutation. It is not a sign of ownership.
The way I fully understood this is that if you were in their area, you belonged to this demon.
You don't belong to them. You are just affected by their abyssal energies, which mutates them and makes you look a certain way. Now, some people can belong to their demon lord if they serve them and have swore an oath. I'd say Esther certain believes herself to belong to Gratz, but it is not like your soul belongs to him in the ownership, like the way a devil owns your soul kind of way. Though
Okay.
Esther is marking sacrifices. We're not really sure what she plans to do with that yet. Seems like she's preparing for something greater.
Can I ask Colette? And I just like lean into her and I snuggle and I just like, is there going to be a big sacrifice later?
Oh, why yes, after the tournament, all the losers, all at once, sent to Gratz. And then we will hear their hallowed screams. It is the most beautiful of music. That's why it is called hallowed suffering.
Your voice is beautiful music.
Oh, thank you.
What is the purpose of these rituals?
To praise the highest Lord Gratz, to sanctify this territory. This neighborhood has gotten his attention, and we have come to make it hallowed.
Oh, so interesting. Sanctify?
Yes, it has gone too long without the proper sanctifications.
What does that mean?
You'll see.
I cuddle into her. Little bits at a time. We'll get this information little bits at a time.
She definitely looks enthralled by the ritual. You also notice, though, some of the citizens here look a bit perplexed and a little disturbed. The religiosity of it was unexpected and strange. And yet Gaius seems stone. He is like staring like directly into her eyes, and she like kind of looks up almost like,
Yeah, he had no idea this was about to happen.
seems like he wasn't expecting it, and yet he is unable or unwilling to react.
Yeah, that's a death sentence. Do I see Dane anywhere?
Dane, are you visible? He's like 2 levels up.
Oh, okay.
I'm
So no.
suddenly right behind you.
I just make the eye contact. Like, is this normal? Like, should we be
No.
worried about this? That is what I'm looking at you for.
Dane is. Are you asking that out loud, or are you just like giving him a look that says that?
I'm giving you a look because I'm sitting with Colette and I don't want to say that out loud.
Yeah, I'm just like I'm all of a sudden like 2 aisles behind you, and as like you give me that look, I look back at you and just
I mouth to you, Fia.
at this point, where is Rizgar?
Where's Rizgar? Yeah, where is Rizgar?
Who's
Rizmeister.
Oh.
He's kind of like in the crowd. I think he and Rowan are kind of like pulled back, kind of at the. Because remind me, it was kind of like an inward slant, with the kind of center.
So there's the center. You have to like lean over the banisters. It's like the atrium goes straight up, and there's several layers up. There isn't a slant, but people are crowded on the very edges of the banister trying to get a good view.
Yeah, they're on the.
There are visuals like illusion magic to kind of like broadcast every couple of floors in the middle of the atrium, so everyone can get some kind of view.
Yeah, so he and Rowan are on the opposite side from the VIP booths, kind of like on one of the elevated positions, watching a TV. Although every so often he does kind of glance in the direction of the VIP booth. So I think he would eventually catch an eye.
How does when you see Eris's how do you react?
Let me check something real quick.
As Eris catches your eye, I'm suddenly
Okay.
behind you.
Okay, they're behind glass, correct?
No, the booth is kind of hanging over the atrium, and there's like cloths and stuff, like curtains, but it's open.
Oh, it's open air.
Yeah.
Okay, I cast message on it. I'll just kind of like shoot a message to Eris, and say, I may be an outsider, but this does not seem normal.
You get that little like, yeah, this.
You
does not
can
seem
respond if you
normal.
want to.
I don't want to whisper because I have Colette. I don't know if she has super hearing.
Colette is she's been chatting with Ajani, the girls. Ajani seems totally fine with this. He's sitting there pitching to her a visit to his pleasure palace. So she seems a little distracted.
Oh, I respond then for sure. I'm just like, I don't think this is normal. They said something about sanctifying this area.
I shoot another message. Perhaps this is what Fia was talking about, or something else entirely.
We should ask.
I do.
You suddenly feel like Dane's presence behind you as he's just like he's trying to loom over you, but you're taller.
By like half an inch, 1 inch.
Yeah. So he's just like kind of just standing awkwardly behind you, and he just goes,
Tisgar, we have to talk to her.
and then he whispers in your ear,
I'm talking about Fia.
You're really quiet.
I
And
did
you
not know
just
what you
keep-
just said.
I was talking about Fia.
Oh, okay. Yes, I agree. One moment. Fuck! Damn it, never mind.
What?
Yes, we must go see Fia. I thought I took sending. I was just going to send to Fia, but I took a different spell. Never mind.
Oh.
Oh,
I
I
feel
was
like
so.
I feel
I
like
was like, what
Tisgar does
happened?
that actually.
Yeah, he goes, 1 second. Oh, never mind. Fuck. All right, let's go.
We must be inconspicuous.
And then Dane takes you into a shrouded corner, takes his hat off, puts his hat on you, and then like
Oh my
takes
God.
off his
So
his,
inconspicuous.
mask. And he just goes,
Nobody knows my face.
Meanwhile, Tiskar is wearing this hat.
Oh my God, are you pulling out a hat right now?
please say you have a hat like this.
Oh my God, I will wait for this.
Oh god.
Yes. Absolutely yes.
That is the most Australian bush hat I have ever seen.
Wait,
Did you know that all of
fuck, I don't
the
have one.
lizard
Never
folk
mind.
from Mastika are like totally Australian bushwhackers?
Wait, no, the drow are already that. The lizard folk can't be too.
No,
Well,
those
it's
are
been
the
200
drow
years.
are
The drow are
Sydney
down under.
Australian.
It's been 200 years. You never know. Dane also puts on a pair of glasses, but you can tell the lenses are poked out. And he just goes,
You're so cute.
he just,
He just goes, we must hurry. Whatever they have planned, it'll be done by the end of the tournament.
So his snout's like kind of like eating into the mask, so he's like incredibly muffled. Let's move quickly. He looks back to Rowan. He looks incredibly awkward now, by the way.
What's going? Sorry, I got a little tickle in my throat.
It's a furball. Sorry, was that
Those are-
insensitive? I can't tell if that was insensitive.
Oh,
Those are cats, Dane.
I mean, I do get footballs sometimes, love, but that is neither here nor there. Here, there.
How have I never heard about that? Anyway, I will be back.
Where are you going?
He looks suddenly very, very kind of like, ugh.
You're not gonna
Work.
leave
at this
me
point,
here.
like Dane like gets in the middle of him and Rowan very uncomfortably and just goes,
Stay close to Eris. They will protect you.
There's like a hand that's waving at
Oh.
Rowan from across there, like, come sit.
Oh, you mean down at that booth where Ajani, the Rakshasa, who loves to give me fat tips, is sitting? Sure, I will absolutely go down there while you go do your work without me. Phew. Starts to walk away to go down to the box.
That was weird.
Sassy.
and then Dane just grabs Tisgar and like runs off.
He like Tiskar's letting himself be dragged as he's just kind of like staring at Rowan. And as he turns the corner, he turns back and just kind of mutters to himself as he's like adjusting the hat. He's attractive when he's angry.
Thanks so much.
and they go.
You're my OTP.
So here's my question: does Hale see this? Because I'm not gonna try and go and like grab Hale away from Magni Ajani. I feel like that's too much of a risk.
I haven't been here for the past couple of minutes, so I'm not actually sure what's happening.
We're running over to Fia to investigate on whether or not there's a ritual going on in the tournament and if Fia is trying to influence it in some way.
And Eris is with you.
No, Eris
Eris
is
No,
is
I'm
you.
not
at the
with
table.
us.
Okay.
Eris
We
is still at
got-
the tournament. We're running over to the clock tower where Fia would be.
Were you here?
Yeah.
Dane
Retsu-
slapped in.
Tizkar.
Retsu, were you here when Esther marked the loser of the fight?
Yes.
Okay, just want to make sure that we're in the right spot.
So they're trying. We got the information from Colette that was like, they're trying to do some sort of sanctification here, in our area.
Okay.
And I was like, "Yo, you should probably talk to Fia, guys."
Oh, okay. He will attempt to excuse himself from Ajani then.
Ajani will look a little disappointed, but he's not. He's having so much fun, he's not going to stop you. Just like, come back soon.
Won't be long. And
I hand him
Hale
wine.
will- Okay, he's gonna carry.
Like, drinks it, his little whiskers are wet.
Okay.
Why is that so cute, though? Aw.
All right. Yeah, Hale will join them.
All right, you guys squeeze your way out of the crowded pillar and rush up to the clock tower. You sneak in and you head to the top where Fia's not in her inner sanctum, in her like office behind the big face of the clock. When you enter the room, the first thing you see lying on the desk, kind of like touching their face and kind of moaning, Darkstar, the Dragonborn. And
Dane,
then
oh wait, no, we're being inconspicuous. Sorry.
her face is turned towards you, but her eyes are kind of like rolled back in her head as she moans. But then her eyes snap and see you. And she goes, "Hello." And then as she says that, Julius's body, Fia, rises from behind, mouth drenched in blood. And she looks at you.
Dane just goes,
Tizkar pulls the hat down just kind of a little bit more over his eyes.
by the way, Karetsu, Tizkar is now wearing Dane's mask and hat.
Oh.
Because we're being inconspicuous and nobody knows
It
what
looks
Dane
exactly like this. Exactly like this.
Okay.
Nobody knows what Dane looks like, but they know what Tizkar looks like. Dane just looks at Julifia.
Julifia
And just goes-
looks annoyed that she's being interrupted right now, and she slowly wipes the blood. Darkstar doesn't move. She looks very weakened, though elated at the same time, and just kind of like flutters her eyes closed and just nap time.
Dane just speaks plainly. He just goes, "You've been feeding a lot, it seems. Must be a lot of energy expended."
It's been a minute. I'm hungry. What do you want?
I have questions. It's been a week, and I wanted to get your input.
Tizkar just kind of interrupts as he like rips the mask off of him because it's really like starting to get on his nerves, and he just bluntly says, "Are you aware that Gratz has taken an interest in Rosewood and is planning a ritual?"
Dane just mutters under his breath.
He just takes the stuff and he kind of like slaps the hat back on Dane's head and like takes the mask and thunk back in his chest.
Gratz has taken an interest in Rosewood and is now performing a ritual. Could you be any more vague?
No, because that is all we know.
Are you really telling me the mother of the Whisperers of secrets themselves didn't know?
I've been dead for 3 months.
I feel like this plan would have gone well beyond 3 months. And that also wasn't a no.
Talk in the microphone, you guys.
Am I not talking in the microphone?
You keep
I'm so
cutting
sorry.
out. I can't hear you guys very well.
Dane basically just goes, this plan must have been more than 3 months, and that also wasn't a no.
Gratz owns this city. Why are you surprised he'd be poking around here?
He's never shown interest in it before.
Is Gratz here?
We just saw his
Whatever's
chosen.
His chosen.
Yes, they're performing rituals on whoever's in the loser bracket of the tournament.
Strawberry blonde hair, obnoxiously cute face, piercing blue eyes?
That's
The one.
Esther. She must know
What she
about the
called
stone.
herself. Where is Cora?
Oh, I'm keeping her safe. You don't need to worry about her. She's not quite tethered to this reality. It's quite frustrating, actually. She's basically useless.
So this entire quest to find these stones has been...
I'm working
Nothing?
on it. You don't have to worry about it. Once she is whole and the proper preparations have been made, I can successfully turn her and take her body. And you can have this back.
And how long will that take?
Soon.
That's not an answer.
Maybe a few days.
I've read the stories. I've looked up this Cora.
Oh, have you?
It's a creature of legend.
Exactly.
Killed abyssal monsters.
Exactly.
Half a second. Do you really feel like you'll have full control?
Once I turn her, she will be bound to me as my thrall, just as Julius was, and then I can appropriately do the transfer. She'll be tucked away nice and safe.
This ritual, will it be done before the tournament ends?
Why? Do you need it to be done before the tournament ends?
I fear that's the timeline we're currently working with.
Possibly.
Whatever Esther's planning, she's planning to do it with all of the losers of the tournament. Perhaps some of the winners.
Oh. I've heard of this before. They're all degenerate. She's probably just going to kill them all and then have a big orgy in their bodies.
She's marking them with Gratz's symbol.
Yes. She looks completely unimpressed. They're so
this isn't going
dramatic. Demons.
So, this isn't going to destroy Rosewood in any which way?
I mean, she's going to eat a lot of people. If you don't like
A
it,
lot.
kill her. I don't care.
I believe that would put a target on Rosewood's back. And at that point, there would be no more Rosewood.
Somebody is yelling and there is no microphone to take it.
I'm not here.
I know.
We're level 4.
Dane, can Dane? I want to see if Thea is feeling any sort of like if she's actually nonchalant about this or if she's just pretending to.
Roll insight.
12.
She's acting pretty nonchalant, and it's hard to tell.
Thea, I don't mean to be brash with you. Sarah is directly involved.
What do you want me to do about this? We live in Zelatar.
Are you saying you can't save Sarah?
What do you think is going to happen to Sarah? Is she marked? Has she been marked as a sacrifice?
Any one of us could, at a moment's notice.
Don't whisper. We can't hear you.
Any one of us could, at a moment's notice. Sorry, I keep forgetting. Any one of us could be at a moment's notice marked, destroyed. There's too many powerful beings at play here. And history tells us when powerful demons are at play, things get destroyed.
Ah, you see now why I do the things I do. Why I seek power. Life here is very fickle, and if you are not strong enough to protect those that you love, you may as well just roll over and die. If you're so worried, find power and take it.
Very well, then. Allow us to talk to Cora. Let us convince her to be your thrall willingly.
I don't need her to give me permission. I just need to stabilize her essence, and then I can get on with it.
So she's not actually here.
She seems split between this reality and another. Whatever she did, whatever her party did 100 years ago, she keeps mentioning something called the Maze Engine. It took a lot of research, but it sounds like it is something from the planes of order. Something that is supposed to arrange reality, time, and space. But when a mortal uses it, that is so much space for error. If they used a maze engine, that is extremely reckless. Whatever she did, she is partially here, partially there. She keeps asking to go back, but I need her here. So as soon as I can stabilize her, I can take her body, and I don't have to worry about things as much. And you can
Is there
have
anything we can do?
Julius back.
If there's anything we can do to hurry the process.
You can stop interrupting me. She seems
Damn,
really
Fia.
cold and annoyed and cruel a bit. The way she's just casually talking about stealing this person's life.
I see this was not a very fruitful endeavor.
No, I
I've-
appreciate you letting me know that Astor is here. I'll get things going quicker. She was the one who deposited our little Kenku into the repository. She clearly didn't want her found.
Do you think Esther knows what was in the stones?
It's possible. It's possible that she dropped it off there on behalf of Gratz himself.
You said she had a party.
Yes, a party of heroes. Her friends.
So, are there more of these stones? Are there more summons to make?
More abyssal prisms. That's a thought. Huh. Thank you, Dane. You've given me much to think about.
Yes. I, too, am very thoughtful.
Jesus Christ.
Dane like perks up and walks out.
Tizkar
God, I love
just
Dean
shoots
so
the look at
much.
Hale like, what the fuck?
Hale follows Dane out, and also, like, I think Tizkar can see that there is conflict within Hale at the moment. Now that he has learned that Fia's actually trying to take over Korra's body.
Mhm.
Tizkar kind of walks them watch out, looks back at Darkstar and Fia, and then just is
Fia
like,
has gone
and
back.
leaves.
She's taken Darkstar's wrist and has started like digging her teeth, finding a spot. You see Darkstar like wince and pain, but then
Dane
He-
is like fully walking out of the clock tower, silent, unless somebody else wants to do anything.
Hale will jog to catch up with Dane after exiting the tower.
Yeah.
I don't want Fia taking over Korra's body.
Of course not. A being that powerful being taken over by Fia, the consequences would be severe.
She should just take over Darkstar's body.
Listen,
Tizkar finally joins them. So we don't like the idea of Fia taking over that body, correct?
no, of course not.
Good. I've
Listen,
never trusted her.
I don't believe. I don't know what we can do, but I do know one
Fight
thing.
her.
Fia staying in any body here, regardless of her own, is dangerous for Rosewood.
Yes, but what are we supposed to do if I destroy the phylactery? Hale takes out Fia's phylactery that he still has.
Oh.
She stays in Julius.
Is there a way to put her back in there?
Is there a way for that Hale?
Hale,
knows of?
as a wizard, you think there probably is, but you could have a discussion with Aru and make a plan to possibly force her out and retrap her in the phylactery.
Okay. There has to be a way. More than likely, well, the Sphinx. Let's ask the Sphinx.
Yes. It seems as if we might have a little bit more time than expected. Fia didn't seem like she was in a rush. Or at least couldn't be in a rush.
It does not sound like we have that much time to come up with a plan. 2 days. Maybe 3.
If it was anyone other than Korra, I honestly could not give a flying fuck.
Why specifically Korra?
Did you know Korra?
I only know of her through the one that you saw in the repository recording.
Is she dangerous?
Well, it's not that she's dangerous, which I assume she is if there's legends about her, but she was someone dear to my cousin Faror. I have familial obligations to help her then.
Your cousin knew the Demon Slayer of legend.
Yes, did I not mention that?
It would have been nice to know before I yelled at Fia about it.
Well, I haven't seen him. We only saw him in the recording. And I only remember this because it was mentioned in passing.
Listen, I don't know what our next step should be, but if Fia takes over Korra, Rosewood is destroyed. If Gratz's Chosen takes over and does this ritual, Rosewood is at risk of being destroyed. If the Magiazani is here for more than another couple of weeks with Sarah, I will be destroyed. We need to figure all of this out.
Baby.
Wait, who's Sarah?
Who is Sarah?
Nothing, no one. Let's just ignore that and keep going.
No. You don't get to backtrack. Who is Sarah?
Yes, did you want something regarding the gloaming stones? You mentioned Sarah, but you never explained who she was.
Sarah used to be a whisperer, devout one. We didn't really ever put a label on it, but I guess you could say we're lovers.
Ah,
Oh.
now I understand. Then we do not have time to lose. Let us go.
That worked? Okay, yeah, let's go.
As you find your resolve, the fights continue through the night. I'll roll later to see who makes it to the next round. But as
Can I do one thing?
Yes, do one thing.
At some point during the night, I want Eris to have escaped enough to go and actually see Gaius.
Oh. He's kind of busy. He's announcing all of these things. He's in his booth. Are you going to wait for like the end of the night?
Yeah, so she's staying with Colette and ingratiating herself to Colette until she can speak with Gaius.
Okay. It's the end of the night. It's like all the fights have happened. Esther has marked all the losers. They seem to be like weakened but kind of entranced. Like they've just accepted it. After you try to go close to Gaius, he is kind of like preparing to leave. He has his own little booth where he was doing his announcements, and the outside is flanked by two of his Fang Breakers. And as he starts to leave, he sees you and he stops. He like cocks his head, and then he remembers that he saw you the other night for dinner, and he's like, "Hope you enjoyed the fights," and then starts to
They were
walk by.
wonderful. And she puts an arm around his waist.
He kind of tenses up and slinks out. Can I help you?
Yes, you can. Especially seeing how shocked you were during the fights every time someone got it.
He looks like a little... Don't worry about it.
I am worried about it, considering what it means. But it seems you didn't know it was going to happen. And if you don't know what's happening in your territory, no one's really safe, are they?
He opens his mouth to speak, but then kind of slams his jaw shut and kind of like...
Okay.
Don't
That, to me, seems like a geisha of some sort.
worry about it. I'm
All
stressed.
I'm saying is, I'm a friend if you want companionship.
She smiles. If you would like to talk.
I don't
You're
need
really good at listening.
companionship. I have to go. Hope you enjoy the rest of the fights. And he's going to try and whisk
So
off.
he literally can't talk to me. It looks like it's causing him pain.
Yeah.
See you later. She pats his chest and then walks off.
He kind of goes, and then you see him like rubbing his temple. And that's where we're going to end today's session. Good job, everyone. Let me take a quick final note.
What lovely new developments we've made.
Why do you keep asking if everyone recognizes me without my skin on? Jesus!
Let's do some golden buzzers real fast, starting with Retsu. Everyone who gets one gets a D10.
Eris, for that whole thing with the Lady of Law.
Denial. She is a lady of loss. Yeah.
Denial.
Also, just for the record, when you said denial, I'm like, did she mean the Nile?
Yeah, I thought the Nile River.
No,
I was
thought she
like-
just
No, I
didn't let
got you.
people-
I got you.
Denial!
thought she just didn't let people
the way
finish.
you said it.
That's why I was like, why isn't it an Egyptian headdress? And then I was like, oh, the denial. As in, like,
Denial.
I was like, yeah, denial. That makes sense.
Y'all.
Yeah. Sorry.
I'm just glad I'm not the only one who thought that, because that's why I kept my mouth shut.
No. Okay, Jess.
To Tizkar, because Tizkar and Rowan, Rizkar, I'm all here for that.
Yeah, buddy.
Okay.
Also, he has 2 penises.
He
God
does.
damn it. I did not
Yes, but-
expect that line to come out of Rowan's mouth.
No,
Jesus
Yep.
Christ.
You get all dirty, it's gonna slap you right back. So
When was I dirty?
when you were like, do you want a round 2? When
Okay,
was I dirty?
fair. Touche.
Okay, JTC, who are you giving yours to?
Okay, Silver Buzzer to Scarlet for Horny Rowan, because that very much caught me off guard. And it was great. But I think I'm going to give it to Retsu for sassing Azazel. That was so like minute, but so Hale.
Zaz Sass. Love it. Buff?
I want to give it to JTC for the wonderful improv of putting on the mask and the hat. I think it's hilarious to have the Dane Hexblood mask and hat on Tizkar, and I want to see
Wait.
the fan art.
I
of it.
can do it. Hold up. Tell me how I do, Dane.
Mhm.
Yeah.